go. There we go.
And it's a good evening from Tony.
And it's good evening from Pete.
Hello, chat. How the hell are you? Welcome, one and all. Craig Campbell. Welcome, Stuart Niven. Welcome, one and all. How are you, Pete?
I'm not so bad. Just again, I'll say welcome, Stuart. Vapor me, Stuart Niven, Craig Campbell, Stuart Niven. Good evening, Stuart Niven. How are we getting on tonight?
Yeah, so as I say, what we've decided to do tonight, me and Peter, for the change, usually, as you know, guys, if you watch the Vape Debate regularly, evening Craig, if you watch the Vape Debate regularly, usually we have a predetermined topic for you guys, either one that we've decided or you suggested on the last show. So what we've decided this week is to have what we call open house. Yeah, so we're going to trial this idea. It may be the future things to come, we don't know. And what that actually entails is, basically, you chat guys, you will be running the show, so to speak. So to give it a quick sort of idea how that's going to work, if you want to start a subject, a topic for the Vape Debate tonight. Hello, Sean Wilson.
Sean.
What we need you to do is to type at the Vape Debate and your topic that you'd like to start the show with. And we'll move through various topics as the show rolls on. What do you think about that, P?
I think it's good. I mean, it's not our show. We're just mediators and no man's an island, I think we've heard me say in the past. We don't know it all. You guys certainly do. Well, my teenager does, because he knows it all. But, you know, what we're trying to do is build a show here, guys, where everybody can join in and enjoy, but run it, so to speak. You know, as I say, we're just the guys in the seat. We just make it happen. We're even toying with an idea of maybe a phone-in. Let us know your thoughts on that, where you can actually come on, not on the video, but come in on the chat for a period of time and see where it goes, you know.
Yeah, chat, that's a good idea, what Pete's just suggested. There's one we're mulling over how to do. We haven't figured it out as yet. Hello, UK Andy, lad. Welcome to the show.
Evening, Andy.
So I'll just repeat that, Pete, for the UK Andy, in case you missed out. What we're thinking of doing, as Pete just said, is on the show we're going to try and find a way of having live audio, so you guys can join in on live audio. If you think that's a good idea and something you might want to see, chat, give us a yay or a nay in chat now.
Do you want to be a voice in the wilderness? We enjoy it. We enjoy doing this immensely, and I think we both enjoy doing live immensely. But doing this joint venture, which is what it is, it's refreshing to us, Hi, Andy. How you doing?
Andy 1974 is in the house as well.
Brilliant. Andy 74. Everybody's coming on. Love it. But we're going to open it up. We want to know what you would like. We started doing this really with subjects in mind. You know, last week we kicked off on TPD, and we will do subjects. And if you want a subject or a topic discussed, you mention it, we'll make a note on it, and we'll either do it on this one or another one, you know. But
hello, Vapor Bunny.
There you go. So Andy thinks live chat would be a good idea.
Yeah. If anyone has any knowledge to speed that process up of how that can be achieved, by all means, throw it in chat. If there's a tool out there you can incorporate to XSplit, which will enable live chat as an audio chat. If you know about such a thing, feel free to mention it. It'll speed up the process for ourselves. But it's definitely an idea we're going to work on, P, isn't it?
I think it's a good idea, to be honest with you. Just sorry, Bunny. Evening, my love. It's still windy and raining and even snowing in the Isle of Man.
Ah, you're spoilt in the Isle of Man with your snow.
Can't get to the pub.
Yeah, we just get dandruff. Well, that's God's dandruff, I suppose, and it's snow.
Doesn't stop the cars.
VSE, Andy's saying, so I presume, Andy, that there's a functionality in VSE that will facilitate audio calls. Is that what you're saying, UK Andy, yeah?
Because we use VC on this broadcast. So
that would be interesting. Well, as soon as we can figure it out, we will bring it to you guys if you fancy doing it. Because as I say, it's fantastic to import anyhow, texting. That's brilliant anyhow. But I think like a bit of like sort of verbal jousting, would we say, P?
Verbal jousting, faster by.
The Vape Hunter. Hello, Vape Hunter. Hello, Bill Byrne. Hello, Belinda Leslow.
Hello, Belinda.
The team's in. Right, chat. In your wisdom, chat, give us a topic to start the vape debate. So as I say, chat, if you want to put in at the vape debate with your topic, we'll fire up the engines, won't we, P?
Give us a clue what you would like to debate about. And it's not a mass debate. There's a lot of you. Okay, I just want to say that.
Oh, the schoolboys in the house. The schoolboys in the house. Oh, Andy's saying, VSE does facilitate a P, so we'll have to do a little bit of investigating on that. And who knows, maybe the next one, the next vape debate. Also, at this juncture, can I just say, guys, this is my channel on, obviously. Now, this is a collab, the vape debate, and it's between me and Pete's Place. So what you need to do, guys, and do it now if you will, if you subscribe to Vaping at Pete's Place, you will then get notification when he has it on his show. So you never miss out on the vape debate because it's a collab and it flip-flops between channels. This week it's on my channel. Next week, obviously, it'll be on Pete's. So if you want to give him a sub now, that'll be brilliant because you won't miss out, guys, you know. Oh, well, Roy's reviews. At the vape debate, should menthol be put in custard? No, seriously wrong.
Well, agree with that, yeah.
Well, did you know, P, menthol, chat, back me up on this if you haven't sort of give gravity to what I'm about to say, but I believe menthol cigarettes are going to be phased out, you know, the stinkies. There's something in it which is super bad for you, and the knock-on effect is they're going to do the same with the menthol in vaping as well.
I didn't know that. I didn't talk, to be honest with you. And you don't know what, does anybody know why? The ingredient, what's happening, what's the flavour that's giving us a problem? That could make a mess of my Will I Vape It tomorrow night, wouldn't it?
Yeah, by the way, Pete does Will I Vape It on a Sunday night. Where he is absolutely crazy, people. He'll vape a chair leg, a car wheel, you name it, he'll try and vape it, you know.
Anything but dog shit in the baby's nappy.
But yeah, there's something there in the annals of me memory, and it was something I meant to like sort of do a bit more research on before I blabbed it out tonight. But I'm pretty much sure menthol cigarettes are going to be outlawed, and I think also menthol in vapors is going to be phased out as well. I can't remember where I read that, but if anyone can jog me memory, that'd be brilliant. Like, you know, what's this? At Roy's Reviews, Tony, menthol cigs are banned because it was easy for kids to smoke. I think there's more to it than that, though, Roy. I think there's actually sort of something in there which is detrimental to your health. I mean, we know ciggies are full stop, but it's an extra cause for concern, like, you know.
Must be in the flavouring, mustn't it?
What's that? Yes, at UK Andy, my third Q Mini just arrived. How about you? You've got a Mini shaped like a Q, and you've got 3 of them. How'd you drive them?
Last time anyone vaped on a Mini, it was called suicide.
Hey! Yeah.
But last week we did TPD, didn't we? And
we did, yeah.
What did we do the week before?
We done the origins of vegetable glycerin. Remember?
What was it?
Yeah.
Well, going back on VG and PG, I've done some research for... Isn't it great when it's sugar researchers? But I did some research because I had a lot of comments with people with problems of hives and all sorts of problems come through. Call me Dr. Pete. And anyway,
my sound machine.
But I'll do some research, and I looked through some interesting subjects, interesting reports on VG and PG, and they both have side effects. They all have complicated side effects, and I will get this report out to you guys. I haven't got it tonight. It's on an email, but VG actually can cause death, right? According to one report, right? So I will get these out in certain circumstances. Very, very highly unlikely, by the way. But you know, just to look at some of the problems we have coming on us as vapers, it's best to be ahead of the game. And I'm always thinking, we were stuck with cigarettes, the parliamentary debate, we were stuck with cigarettes, in many respects we couldn't change them. Is there any other directions we can take? This might be a topic for tonight. Are there any other directions we can take for e-liquid? Or does it have to be PG and VG? There's a question, guys. Let's have your thoughts on that.
Do you mean like instead of it being the 4 components that we know and love, which is PG, VG, nicotine and flavouring, you're thinking maybe there might be another 2 to be replaced as a vehicle to produce the vapour?
It's possible.
Can I just go back to what UK Andy said there? I didn't see it, Andy. I meant to watch that. There was a parliamentary debate on this week. Andy, if you want to give us a quick synopsis of how it went and what it was about, that would be brilliant. I meant to watch that, P. It looked really good as well, do you know?
Jamie! Impression of Jamie.
Hello, Jamie, lad. But yeah, I meant to watch that, you know. I really did meant to watch that, and I completely forgot about it. Like, so, Andy, if you can shed a bit of light on how that went, the parliamentary debate, that would be a good one to keep the topic going as well.
That would be excellent.
Yeah, but also, as Pete said, any suggestions for different components to make vapor juice, you know, e-liquid, vapor juice. But that would be interesting.
We only want the carrier of both flavour and vapour, you know. So it must be other stuff out there, surely. I'm one for thinking out of the box. But.
Yeah, there's one at the moment, P, which is knocking about. Nic Salts. You may have heard of Nic Salts. Have you heard of them, P? Yeah, the Nic Salts.
I haven't actually, no.
Yeah, Nic Salts. Now, Dean the Devil Vapor's just done a review on a new device that's come out by it's called the Aspire Gusto. It's a cracking review. Dino always does good reviews, like the Devil Vapor, and that has Nic Salts in it. Like, and he was saying about with Nic Salts, when you use the Nic Salts, this Vapor Gusto comes out with a dedicated, like, sort of how can I put it, a compartment that clicks into the actual device itself, and it's pre-filled and it has Nic Salts in it. He said the difference with Nic Salts is you do get, like, sort of, it's like a smoking. You know, you're aware of the nicotine and you're getting like that throat hit, you know. So has anyone else in chat experienced Nic Salts, and can you give me your verdict or how you reacted to them? Because Dino, if you haven't, check out Dino's review. He's done it today. The Aspire Gusto, yeah, the Devil Vapor. Cracking review, by the way. But has anyone in chat actually experienced firsthand Nic Salts? And if you have, tell us what your experience was, please.
That's interesting. I've never heard of them, to be honest. And I will nip over to Devil Vapor to have a look when this is over.
Yeah, Nick salts. So that's another, you know, you're talking about sort of altering the components and putting a different one in. Well, Nick salt is instead of putting nicotine in, nicotine e-liquids, you put the Nick salts in, like, you know. But I'm just wondering if anyone in chat has had any experience with Nick salts, and was it good, bad, indifference, you know, how did it go for you? What's that? Craig Campbell, no, I haven't used Nick salts. Is anyone there? Oh yeah, what's this? Jamie Stevens was reading up on Nick salts, meant to provide more of a Nick buzz. Yeah, well, that's what Dino was alluding to. He said it is like, you know, when you're vaping all the time, you just chain vape, don't you? But if I've interpreted what Dino was saying, with the Nick salts, you're not going to be chain vaping because you are getting that. You know, the way you didn't really chain smoke. Some people did, but most people didn't, because you got the satisfaction out of that one ciggy, and then they come back to it, didn't he? Like, you know. I think Nick salts has a similar thing, you know.
I really. How do you use Nick salts? Do you mix them, or do you just? How do you use them?
Yeah, well, what it was in the one that Dino was doing tonight, it was already part of the, let's call it a capsule that fits into the actual device. It was already in the actual fluid, the Nick salts. So I presume, I'm a bit vague on Nick salts myself, I'll be honest with you. I presume it just dissolves in the actual e-liquid. That would be a good one for chat. Chat, if any of you guys shed a bit of light on that. When using Nick salts, how do you actually put it in the mix, so to speak, you know?
Do you use it in a vapor, or do you use it in a
yeah, it's a proper, you can use it in these tanks and all that, you know. It's just a substitute for e-liquid nicotine, you know.
Yeah. By the way, guys, a comment I reviewed the mesh the other night, and a comment that said, "Watch out, the dry hits are horrendous," and I just want to agree with them. They're horrendous. I have before.
Yeah. Someone said to me that when you get a dry hit on the old the Vandy Vape mesh, it's like getting a kiss off the devil. Just saying, that was the clean version of what I heard.
It's a brute, you know. And it lasts a long time. You're on the floor, actually. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Andy 1974, 20 milligrams of salts equates to 3 milligrams of nicotine. But Andy 1974, how do you get it in the e-liquid? Do you just put the 20 mil in with the juice and let it dissolve? The actual construction of e-liquid and putting it in is where we're a bit bewildered. Is that right, Pay?
That's at the moment, yeah. I've never seen it. I can't get a video of one. I will be actually going and researching it when we're finished. So, not that I'm a nicotine guy now. I'm actually working off it to a degree. I'll never be without it, but I'm working down.
That might be one to review. Come back on your channel with the Vape Debate next week, P. We'll investigate in depth Nick salts. Do you want to make a note of that, P? Yeah.
I don't know, mate.
Yeah, and what we'll do, guys, we'll have all the info for you, thorough research next time the Vape Debate is on Pete's channel next week, like, you know. Oh yeah, Vapor Bunny, and dry hit is like swallowing razor blades. Peace, you've had one. What did you say?
If you want to go mesh vaping, because it's my first mesh, guys, I'll be honest with you. If you want to go mesh, make sure you go right, because it's a killer. And you can be in this. I was in this chair for a long time recovering like this. Anyone got a birthday out there coming up?
Oh yeah, Andy 1974, only seeing it in premix, i.e. Elements. That was the one I seen today, Elements. You see, they premix it. So that's why we're in a bit of a quandary of how you'd actually do it. But don't fret, chat, because that's what we're going to do, aren't we, P? Next week we'll research Nick salts, the pros and cons of it, and how to actually incorporate it into DIY mixing, yeah?
Yeah, because Nick, you know yourselves, you can't buy Nick. Eat Nick, so I'm wondering how do you get it? You know, where does it come from? Can you use it? Can you mix it? Is it a salt of pure nicotine? Is it a mixed salt? There's a lot of questions there, guys, to answer really.
What's this?
Running mesh on temp controls saves the dries. Good thinking. I'll have to take the cantle out and put stainless steel in, but that's Keep thinking, Andy's 1974.
Yeah. Andy 1974 as well. He's put at Vaping at Pete's place. So yeah, I've just read the same thing you've read. Yeah, I'm slow tonight, peeps. But you know what, Pete? Can I ask you the question? Have you used it as a squonker?
No, I'm going to. It's because the Vandy vape comes with a squonk pen.
Yeah.
I'm going to squonk though because you know I love the squonking, and that's going to make it a bit of a mess to temperature control because the only drip box 2, I haven't got the 160 or other mods yet, so I can't temperature control as well. But I think a combination of both.
That might be the way forward with the mesh, mightn't it?
Because it drinks juice like there's no tomorrow. You can get caught out very fast. You know, doing a lot of count. So I'm reading the things that come that thick and fast.
Roy's reviews. Nic salts are the salt crystals version of nicotine. They still come in PG, VG bases and not pouches of solids nicotine. But as I say, how do you actually incorporate it into DIY mixing? But as I say, we will come back to that next week, guys, with the full rundown on how that works. But listen, the interaction of chat, fantastic as per usual, Pete.
Well, Jamie's got a good one there. Actually, just a PG based nicotine liquid. It's called nicotine salts. Wow.
What was that, Pete? Sorry.
Chemical change made that changes certain characteristics without changing the actual properties of the nicotine. Jamie Stevens. That's a good reply, Jamie.
See, this is why chat is invaluable, Pete. Because if we don't have the answers, these guys do. You know what I mean? And I'm loving it. I'm learning stuff, Pete.
Well, Vapor ME, you know, we will be selling the Aspire Gusto Mini Pod powered by Element Nic Salt NS20, a closed system by the end of the week.
And that's the one that the Devil Vapor reviewed today. So get over to Dino's channel, Devil Vapor, and check out his review. He's the first I've seen to review it, like, you know. So coupled with the fact that Phil from Vapor Me is going to be selling them, go and have a watch of that first, guys, and get the lowdown. Because Dino, you've watched Dino, haven't you, Pete? He's a cracking reviewer.
Yeah.
Thorough as you like, and he's entertaining as well, but he's as thorough as you like, very in-depth reviews, like. So check him out, guys, if you think they're getting one of them. You know, today he uploaded it, like, it's a smashing video, like, you know.
There you go. Craig Campbell, just looking at the Vape Club, it's the natural salt that is found in the tobacco, which makes sense, tobacco leaf. Vaping a Nic Salt e-liquid allows the nicotine to be absorbed into the body at a faster rate than standard e-liquid. Okay.
So that explains what Dino was saying about the fact that you feel satisfied after just a few vapes, like the way you used to with the horrible stinkies, which if you think about it, that's not a bad idea, you know?
Price the lizard. It is. As I say, I'm working off Nic, so I found nicotine was a problem. Not in cigarettes, but when I got vaping, it certainly was. So I'm down to 3 mil. I'll probably hover at 3 mil, Nic. But you know, there are times when you haven't vaped for it. What I do find, and you guys might answer this, with cigarette, I didn't get an urge if I missed a cigarette like I do with a vape. You know, if I don't have a few vapes in an hour or so, I get a real thirst for nicotine. You know, I don't know if that happens to anyone else.
And I think that's where the Nic salts come in, Pete. I think it'll satisfy that craving. It's a faster hit to the receptors in your brain. That's why cigarettes was such an addictive drug, because it's the fastest known hit to the brain. Faster than crack cocaine, by the way. It's the fastest one to the neurons was cigarettes. So if they can get that balance into vaping, you will get the satisfaction complete of what you had with the stinkies. Ooh, I even hate saying that word now, do you know?
I'm not sure about Dave Evans. Pete is a non-Dutchess. I'm not sure. The best, yeah. Dave Evans, Pete is an online predator. Oh, come on.
Oh, dear. But, yeah, so the Nic salts, yeah, definitely we'll get back to that, Pete. We'll do some research on that, mate.
That's worth a bit of fun with that, to be honest.
Definitely, for sure, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, just making sure I don't have a dry hit here, guys, you know. Got my fuel tanker behind me with e-juice in it. Message deleted, Dave. It must have been a bad one.
No, I've just deleted them, Pete.
Oh, is he a spammer?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to get him. We have a bit of a laugh. But...
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, take roll with the punches, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. Online Predator. That's a good one. The Predator can be used in so many pretenses, can't it?
It was a cracking film. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got to mention here, P. I say this fella there, if you don't mind just going off track him in. If anyone's got one of these or not, the Amet 25, guys, it's a single coiler and it's a belter, you know? An absolute belter.
Mother of the beast.
Hello, Cam, lad. How's it going? Yeah, Cam, what we're having here is the Vape Debate. As I say, this is a collab between me and Pete. Now, if you want to be part of this, Cam, you need to subscribe to Pete's channel at Vaping at Pete's Place. And then you will get notification, because it's flip-flops each week. 1 week it's on my channel, next week Pete's, so on and so forth, like, you know. So get yourself over to Vaping at Pete's Place and subscribe, mate.
Please do.
Yeah, what's that Jamie Stevens saying? Salts will help those smokers that really want the buzz. I'll definitely give it. Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. You see, Jamie, it's the evolution possibly of vaping to match ciggies, totally, if you will. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that actually, Tony and Jamie, because I used the hookah shisha for a while, about a year.
Yeah.
And the hookah guys expect to get sick, right? You didn't know that. They expect nicotine sickness. And they have cures for it, like we have cures for a hangover. They have cures for nicotine hit because they get so much of it. So it's a big subject, to be honest with you. I think that's good. Zeus.
I've heard lots about the Zeus. I haven't acquired one yet, but I will look into that. Defo look into that, Bill. Yeah, I've heard loads of good stuff about it. The Zeus.
Zeus might be a good review for the Patreon account, Jamie, if you're watching.
And what's that Dave's put? I love my haze. Oh, right, okay, cool. Cool.
So subjective though, isn't it? You know.
Well, it is. And that's the beauty of vaping, really, though, isn't it, Pete?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the fact that it is so subjective, and you know, what is one man's poison is another man's, like, sort of passion, so to speak, like, you know, or to be politically correct, what one person's poison is another person's thing, you know.
one man's meat is another man's bread. Absolutely.
That's the one, yeah.
But I've decided never to slag anyone off. What I'm going to do in future on reviews, guys, of juice or anything else, is that if I don't find it satisfactory, I'm just going to ring the manufacturer up and tell him that I can't review it, rather than slag them off. These guys have gone to a lot of trouble to manufacture and do business. They don't always get it right for everybody.
I think what you got to bear in mind, and I think you are mindful of this, P. Some reviewers aren't, and they'll just go at the juggler of people, you know, who make the juices. I mean, you've got to be honest in your sort of review of a juice. What I would say is, and you are not guilty of this, P. Some people just go straight for the juggler and give them a load of crap. That's not the right way to do it. Be constructive with your criticism. You know, as long as your criticism is constructive, hopefully then the manufacturer can take that on board and use it to the advantage and make that juice a bit better for everyone, you know?
Yeah. I do know that, Jamie. I never had a chance to really get used to it. What I need to do is get Jamie to review things so I can find out what I've reviewed it about. That's what I need to do. My patrons get all the stuff.
I tell you what, P, I'm going to throw a wild card out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've done this and I think it'll be interesting to see the results. Now, guys in chat, I want your participation. I want the answers to this next question, if you don't mind. What is your preference when it comes to mods? Do you prefer an internal battery or do you prefer external batteries? Chat, please let us know whether you prefer an internal battery on a mod or external batteries.
Absolutely. That's a good question.
What's your preference, P, while chat are there deliberating?
I do like, I just go, Roy, still have to be honest, if you don't like it be constructive, too many kick-ass reviews out there, and I think reviewers have got to respect their position these days and, you know, be honest to the people who are sending their equipment. As I said, the best way I've found is to ring them up if I'm not happy. So that's what I'm going to do to answer Roy's reviews out there. But I'm an external battery guy. I like to see that. I have got mods with internal batteries in all over the place. But my preference would be to have an external battery that I can lock on it and throw out when it doesn't obey me.
Yeah, and chat seems to be in agreement here, P. There seems to be a majority saying external. Now, my preference for external batteries, well, Roy review either lamp or battery. My preference for external batteries is because, quite simply, if you've got an internal battery on your device, once that internal battery no longer charges, you've got to throw away the device, haven't you? Whereas hello, Vic, lad. Vaping royalties in the house. Salute, peace, salute.
Royalties in the house.
Yeah, my preference for these is external batteries because, as I say, if you've got an internal battery, once that internal battery dies and it won't recharge, you've got to throw the whole device away, haven't you? Whereas with your external batteries, if your external batteries fail and they don't recharge anymore, well, then you just simply replace the batteries and the device is good to go again. So that's the reason, that's my preference behind it, you know.
And you can see most of the building, can't you? You know, and it's built in. You don't know. Someone on the conveyor belt might have had a bad hair day, you know.
Or even worse, a bad Earth day. Kevin Keegan pay him at the ready, you know.
I think if you can sometimes, you know, if you've got a problem with a mod, even an expensive one, not so much for reviews because we're sort of shelving them most of the time anyway. But if you've got an expensive mod, you can actually strip it down, can't you? And I know you can strip down one of these pre-built ones as well, but they're not easy. They're crammed in there.
I think if you're going to go down the route of stripping down built-in batteries, you've got to have knowledge like Jay's vape reviews.
Yeah.
You've got to have the knowledge. Please, anyone in chat, if you haven't got the knowledge, sorry, Pete, discount that stripping down the built-in ones. Unless you've got the knowledge, don't attempt that, like, you know. But it's a fair comment, nevertheless, P, what you said. But Jay's vape reviews, he's the guy who can do it blindfolded, like, you know, he really is good.
The 28 ratio.
What's that? What have we missed? We've been waffling on just a bit of chat there, P, haven't we?
Oh, took me eye off the ball, now it's run up the screen. That's
Let's regroup.
Come on, guys, anyone got a birthday coming up? There's a reason why I asked that. That's a loaded question.
Time for some food. Delivery man has just been removed. Wow, Jamie Stevens, share that food with everyone in chat. Oh,
I thought you'd be cooking tonight, Jamie, with all the goodies you've got. I thought you'd have took it out for a meal.
Pete, you know where he lives. Get down there now and ransack some goodies for chat.
I don't know. I haven't got any gear left.
Now, getting back to the internal batteries, what I would say in their favour is if you're new to vaping and you don't want to spend loads of dough, usually like you get like a small new beginner setup as an internal battery. That's where it comes into its own because the new Vapor P doesn't really want to be messing around with taking batteries in and out, and they're not sure if it's going to be for them anyhow. So that's where the internal wins, in my view. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, don't mess with them and don't mess with your builds, guys. If you're new to vaping, get something that's already been built and ready to go until you get used to it. And then if you want to move on into building your own coils and etc., then do some watching reviews and some research before you do so, because batteries do explode and they make a bloody mess.
Yeah, so unless you've got the skill set of someone like Jay's Vape Reviews, please don't attempt that, like, you know what I mean? That guy is skilled to the hilt. He knows what he's doing, like, you know. Andy 1974, yes, Vape Detective will get resurrected, my friend. It's just having a rest. Don't fear. Do not fear, it will be back with a vengeance, like, you know. What's this here? And UK Andy, damn fireworks here, it's like the Battle of Britain. Well, there's a few going off here, I'll be honest with you. And it's tomorrow night, isn't it? Bonfire night, if I'm not mistaken.
It's bloody night here, boys, I tell you.
Do you celebrate it in the Isle of Man, P?
Yeah, we call it Hop Tuna. N-A-R-N-A-N-A-A. Nah, Hop Tuna.
Jesus, Peace, I thought you were having a stroke then. What was that?
Bonnie will know. She knows all our terminology.
Hop Tuna.
We have every pagan ritual here, including alcoholism.
Yeah, because the reason I ask, because it's really about the British Parliament, isn't it? You know,
I don't know where it came from.
It is, yeah, the British Parliament. Guy Fawkes tried to blow up the British Parliament because of the treatment to the Catholics back in the day. And what I'm thinking is the Isle of Man doesn't have the same Parliament. You have, what is it called? Tin Wall, like, yeah. So I was wondering if maybe you didn't celebrate it, you know?
No, we're a crown state, although we're only a governed crown state. Her Majesty is still our governor, if you like.
So you would then, by default, celebrate Guy Fawkes, wouldn't you?
If you want to find out about the Isle of Man, right, guys, watch Panorama tomorrow night and Monday night, and you'll find out a lot about the Isle of Man.
That sounds ominous, P.
They're going to slaughter us for VAT. Yeah.
It's with the 375 private jets that are parked there.
They're going to slaughter us. And I'm afraid our Chief Minister is not the man to sit there on Panorama, I can assure you. Yeah. In fact, they should have asked me to go.
I think it was 375 or 395 private jets are constantly parked on your island. Enough politics, I believe, people. We might get our ass sued.
Well, they just took 175 million off us, so they're going to take a lot more now.
Oh, yeah, P. Roy's Reviews just said Vapor Bunny's birthday is the 12th of November.
Right, well, what the suggestion was is get your wish list up on Amazon and get it over here on the list and see if any of these guys will buy you some birthday presents, Bunny.
Not a bad idea. So what you're saying is, P, if people have got wish lists, throw them in chat, and if it's coming up to your birthday, one of the people in chat might decide to buy a nice present.
We'll make it obvious. Yeah.
Ah, Vapor Bunny, are you listening? Maybe you might get that G-Glass. No, G-Glass is more I drink. That's Guinness, isn't it? G-Class events.
There you go. Isle of Man is a great place. Still think they should bring back the birch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I agree. They actually should take it. They can take it back 2 stages here, because the law above that was hanging, so we could have the hanging back.
Yeah.
And the law beyond that, and Vic ain't going to like this, you could shoot a Scotsman in full regalia with a bow and arrow.
Well, only if he's eating cake.
Sorry, Vic.
No, I don't think Vic will be very impressed with that one at all. But you know what, Vic? Can I just say we'd make an exception for you, my friend. Anyone fires a bow and arrow at you, you've got to get through Pete first.
Yeah. Got a king of man. What's this? The Isle of Man is a wee bit of a northern island in Cool.
I'm getting shot at, people. I don't know if you can hear them fireworks. I thought they were going to come through the bleeding window, you know.
Well, my too. I've got a Labrador and a Jack Russell. The Labrador embraces it. The Jack Russell flies under the chair with his tail between his legs, and that's where he is right now, shivering.
Is that picking up on my mic? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I've got it good actually. Yeah. I
told her indoors she shouldn't be setting them off in me man cave, but she's not listening, you know.
Indoor fireworks. Yeah. Where are we then? November the what is it? November the what?
November the 5th. November the 12th is Vapor Bunnies. Yeah.
All right. Well, Bunny, come on, get your wish list on here. Get your Amazon wish list on here, and get those guys to buy you some birthday presents. Nothing too expensive, Bunny. You know, no really dizzy silly pods. You know?
Incoming is right, UK Andy. Bloody hell. Can anyone still hear me?
That's bad, man. That's bad.
Oh, it's the neighbours, obviously. Like, it's either that or the James are kicked off again. Ooh.
Bomb down, shift shop.
It does, right? Yeah. I done your ass, or I did. It does sound like I'm in Northern Ireland at the moment.
Craig's got the idea. Maybe they've stepped up their game in Liverpool. One time they wouldn't use guns, they'd just rob you anyway. Sorry, Tom. I didn't leave a legacy.
Andy 70. What's that, Vapor Bunny? Shouldn't have a. Oh well, Vapor Bunny. Go immediately now and do yourself a wish list. And who knows if it appears on the screen, you might be granted your wish.
You never know. We've all got wish lists.
Yeah, Andy 1974 at Vapor Bunny. Get 1 star, said young lady. You have been told. And as I say, if we get it, we'll put it up here. You never know. Chat might rally round and get you a nice present, you know. You never know.
It's going to be a regular feature on here, guys. So if you haven't got a wish list, get one. And it's coming up your birthday. And we do take count of how many birthdays a year you have.
Yeah. The only exception to that rule, and I don't think she's going to like sort of grace us on this channel, but Her Majesty would have 2 shouts on this one, like, you know what I mean?
Just a lot. Well, in your country, maybe. But only when it's on your channel.
You Madge, if you're watching, what are you vaping on tonight, girl?
And my best suit has got plenty of rooms for OBEs and CVEs.
I've just got news filtering through. Her Madge is vaping on a Wismec Gen with an AMA 25. What a coincidence! Look at that, Her Madge. I'm on one of them as well, like, you know.
Madge. Wear Pop's hat.
Maybe it's Air Troops firing at me for being like sort of cheeky mentioning it on this channel. Maybe they're not fireworks after all. Who knows?
They'll scare you out of your house, mate. That's for that.
Sean Spencer, hello.
Welcome to the
show, Sean. What's this? Craig Campbell couldn't resist. What was that? What have I missed?
I'm trying to get back on that one. It was something that Bunny. It was something that Bunny, I think. One started, young lady. Yeah, LOL, yes, Dad. That was one. Sorry, couldn't resist. Okay, so it's a combination of 3 comments going on there. It wasn't directed at you and I for once. That makes a change.
Only the fireworks is directed at me at the moment.
Hello?
Emergency, as in Gaily Bops, correctamundo. Correctamundo. And the Fonzie style. Okay then, guys. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch the game with another wildcard question, right? So guys in chat, what I want to know is this. When you use a tank, is your preference a single coiler or a dual coiler? So in your tank, rebuildable tanks, RTAs, would you prefer a single coil one or a dual coil? Chat, what is your preference? Single coil or dual coil in a rebuildable tank? Peace, what's your views on that one?
Well, according to what the bang's going on outside your house, I'd say chieftain.
Yeah, defo.
What about you? It's rebuildable. Tank, actually, I don't know. I do like the go about at the minute. I do change with the wind, but have I got a favourite? Yeah, I suppose the go about at the moment is my favourite, to be honest with you, on tanks. But as you know, I've gone playing around with Squonkers over the last month or two, so I've sort of gone off the boil on tanks.
Is your GoVad single or dual, P?
It's a single, the GoVad.
Because we're getting
sorry, is that the question? Single or dual?
Yeah, we're getting a bit of a split decision here. We're getting dual, single, dual, triple, dual, single, dual. So it looks like it's a 50-50 call on that one, P.
Yeah, I'd go single because, you know, I'm always conscious of I work in an office, you see, so I'm always trying to cut the vape down as much as possible to stop the fire alarms going off. And the secretary constantly cleaning the windows. Yeah,
I mean, I used to be dual all the way, dual coils, but I very lately have heavily got into single coils. And to be honest with you, some of the single coils, I know I'm labouring the point with this one, and I'm not getting paid any money, but this AMET 25 when it's on a single coil. Now, this is just a 38 watts and it's 0.4 ohms. Guys, check out this for a single coil.
Sean on me last. How's the last going, Sean? I like that. I've got one. That wasn't the only one I had. Ahoy, Craig Campbell. Currently using a single coil AMET. Yeah, another good one. Last nano.
Yeah, that's what I'm on, the single coil AMET, like, you know. Yeah. And I can't fault it. I mean, it's also with the AMET 25, it's a flavour machine. It really is. And if you like to chase clouds, you can also do that with it as well. But that's only a single coil, as I say, and it's coming out at 0.43 ohms, 38 watts, guys.
Can't knock that, can you?
What's not to be liked about that? But as I say, Pete, the flavour out of it is absolutely remarkable, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got to get one. I haven't got one, and I've got to get one.
I think, as I've got a review coming up for it soon, like, so check it out and see what you think. But I am super impressed with it, like, you know. But it seems that the decision from chat on that one, P, it was pretty much 50-50 when it comes to dual coils or single coils. Unlike the battery one before, which quite clearly was heavily external batteries. For this one, it was a 50-50, I'd say, you know.
Yeah. Which is, it shows you that it's so subjective. You know, when most of us, I assume we were all smokers at one time. We had a choice of cigarette really and cigarette brand, but now there's so much choice in the vaping world that it's very hard to pin it down for the mass, isn't it? You know?
But I like to do a straw poll with chat because you just get like a pretty much a true reflection on a cross section of society's views, you know, rather than just going with your own instincts because you think it's good, therefore it is never really the way to go, you know. And I'm loving the interaction out of chat, absolutely fantastic, like, you know.
Yeah, the last pass, it is a beauty, to be honest with you. Actually, that could have been the question because the Wasp is still, although it's a lively beast, it's still a little favourite of mine, the Wasp Nano.
Doesn't it spit a bit though, P?
It does indeed, and there's no spit guard. It's a very, very tight space inside it, which does boost the flavour. So you've got to be careful, but you can alter that with the cause. Bear in mind, I wound mine up to plus ohm, and as a plus ohm vapor, you still get the flavour through. So you can do that, but you can't. You do struggle with the bigger Claptons, and not so much the Staples, but the Clapton, dual Claptons can be fearsome. You know, it is a Wasp, but a great little jobby, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to get one, but I did hear about the spitting and all that, and I thought, oh, I'm not sure if I want to try and vape something that's trying to fight me, you know.
no, I think you'd be disappointed with the effectiveness because it's a light little fella. You know, and you can use it, but it's so subjective because what I like, you might absolutely hate. Same with e-liquids, you know. Craig Campbell, space the coil slightly. That's a good thinking. And bear in mind when it says nano, you know, nano being the old term for 2 mil. You know, don't go over 2 mil with your wrap on a Wasp. You know, keep it down 1 mil. You know, try that if it is fitting too bad, and you can work it out.
I tell you, he's got me back into space coils and just Cantle is vaping with Vic. He does a lot of his builds, you know, they're just ordinary Cantle and spaced, you know, coils.
Yeah.
And he's converted me quite recently into doing them. I done one on this fella here, the Pulse 22, and that's just an ordinary Cantle build, but it's a spaced coil. And thank you, Vic, if you're still here, because you've reignited an old idea with me, and also once again, P, it's economical as well, you know, and the taste you're getting out of it.
We've got a bit far sometimes, or reviews do go a bit far sometimes with coil building. You know, I mean the principle behind Staples and fused Claptons were to hold the liquid, some amount of the liquid in the coil itself, and I'm not so sure it's as effective because if you think it, the spaced coil has technically more space for cotton to be touching or wicker materials to be touching. So I don't know. There's so little difference sometimes that you do ponder on some of these bigger builds. You know.
Yeah, but with watching Vic doing it, it's rekindled me interest in doing my own coils again, doing these space coils, and it's a bit of a retro vape, but it just goes to show that you don't need the all singing, all dancing dual Claptons. You know what I mean? To get a good experience. I think what's missing now in the vaping fraternity, there's a phrase that we all used to use in the beginning, and it's gone out of popularity, and it needs to come back in. Is something that we used to call the sweet spot. Yeah, the sweet spot was all about getting your device set up that was perfect for you. You know?
Yeah.
And I say with the advent of, I know I'm labelling the point with Vic saying about the space coils, the old Cantle, it's retro, but you start remembering things you sort of started being a bit blasé about, you know, and as I say, let's get that back into circulation, people, if you don't mind in chat. Let's get the sweet spot, get that into people, especially new vapors. They need to know about the sweet spot rather than just think, no, I've got to blow clouds with this 500 million watt, you know what I mean? I think we need to sort of go back a little bit and sort of bring some of the old views back, which is the sweet spot, you know.
I think you're right. I mean, that's what I did with the Plus Ohm. And by the way, just to mention anybody who watches me and subscribe to me, subscribe to Vic because he gets to do it full time. He does know more than most of us, to be honest with you, that's for sure. And he's doing a lot of reviews on different subjects. If you're new at this, subscribe to Vic, Vaping with Vic. But yeah, I agree, and that's one of the reasons I headed down the Plus Ohm vaping, Tony, was to reinvent the wheel and have a visit at it. And I wasn't disappointed, to be honest. In fact, I now spend most of my daily vapes Plus Ohm or thereabouts, you know, not the sub ohm right to the bottom, you know. So, and I've been pleasantly surprised now, because with enough of kit around now, we can mess about with it and play with it and experiment. And I don't know, you know, there's a lot less nicotine coming through in a Plus Ohm, and there's all sorts of benefits.
Yeah, so I think that's what we need to do, Pete, especially us reviewers who are on the channel, is to sort of get it back in circulation, the sweet spot, and explain to people who are starting vaping for the first time, who might be watching your show for the first time, or my show, or whoever's, about the sweet spot and what it means, the sweet spot. Because, as I say, I'm repeating myself now, people come in straight at the top now instead of coming in at the bottom and working their way up, you know, having a vaping journey. And that's I think that's something that I think reviewers need to start maybe getting back in that catchphrase, the sweet spot, and explaining what it is, you know, so people can enjoy it rather than just jumping in the deep end and blowing bloody big clouds, you know what I mean? Like, you know.
And I think on that note, you've got to say really that because vaping is so variable, there's so many ways we can go about it, that you can find the right one for you. As I did a video a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about the nicotine level off the certain cigarette you're smoking on. If you're changing to vaping, then, you know, and there's reviews out there about the same thing. Study the nicotine level you're coming from, for one, and then study what you want. Do you want to go off tobacco, which is what you're doing with smoking? Do you now want to come on to flavourings, whether it be fruit-based, dessert, or whatever, you know? And there is a journey there that wasn't so readily available when I started vaping 6-7 years ago. So no, there is. And if anybody's got a suggestion on what their sweet spot is from the experienced vapers that's on here tonight, just give us a chilling report now.
Pete, there's a question there off Belinda Leslar, and if you want to read it, I'll read it to you. It says, Pete, what is Plus Ohm, please? So if you want to elaborate for Belinda Leslar, Pete.
Yeah, it's how you wind your coils in a nutshell, Belinda. We will be doing more reviews on coil building and getting back to basics. And there is plenty out. If you put in YouTube Plus Ohm, what would you call it, Tony? I call it Plus Ohm.
Well, anything that's over, and that's 1.00 or over is a Plus Ohm.
Yeah.
As anything below 1.00 is a sub ohm, I would therefore say 1.00 upwards is a Plus Ohm. That's the way I'd envisage what you call Plus Ohm vaping, P, you know?
That's it. You'll find plenty, Belinda, on YouTube about coil winding, and it was the earlier videos that were doing Plus Ohm. The latter ones have all gone near enough sub ohm. And it is very much where the point is. You know, it's an ohm. You know, a minus ohm is under is 0.03, and a plus ohm is 1.03 in your build. So a nice little small, well wound thing. But it's not elaborate, Belinda, but it's just too much to yap on here. I'll be doing some reviews, going back to basics. And I think Tony's going to do some as well. Yeah,
and I think, Pete, actually, you've got on your channel, you've got a whole video dedicated to Plus Ohm, I believe, haven't you, Pete, on your channel? So if Belinda wants to check out Peter's channel and that particular Plus Ohm, Pete goes into greater detail as well, I believe.
I can do, and Belinda, if you want more questions, go to petesplace101@gmail.com. Find me a comment, and I'll send you the links to the videos that are relevant to Plus Ohm and how it works. Plus Ohm takes us nearer to what we were when we were smoking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Belinda. Now, listen, let's throw my last wild card in of the night, P, if you don't mind. Yeah?
No problem.
Okay, my last wild card for chat and yourself, P, is going to be this. After we've been talking about it, ties in neatly actually with what we've just been talking about. What is your preference, guys? Is it drippers or is it tanks? So while they're deliberating about that, P, whether they actually prefer a tank or a dripper, I want your answer, guys, whether you're a dripper person or you're a tank person. So if you can give us your answers and we'll have a quick straw poll. What is your preference, P?
I'm thinking here because I like squonking because that's right in the middle. It's really dripping from the underneath, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in that respect, I'd say I like drippers because they can get more flavour. They're easier to build. You know, there's a lot more involved. But from a daily use point of view, a tank, fill it and go is more suitable. But again, with the squonker, it's fill it and go as well, you see. So I'm a bit of a mixed bag at the moment, to be honest with you.
Well, it's looking at the moment with chat that tanks for the win seems to be the general consensus. Like Andy Nicey says, well, a dripper on a mech. Well, that's a whole new question, Andy, but thanks for that one. But what I would say, if you want my tuppence, 2 pence worth, is basically tanks is just ultimately the most inconvenient side for out and about. You know, fill it away you go. However, if you're in the house, I don't think you can beat a dripper. You know, for the flavour, but with a dripper, it's not always practical to be dragging it around the pubs and clubs and whatever. And that's when I'm going to segue into what Pete was saying about squonking, because what I'm going to throw into that mix is squonking. I believe is the answer to people who like tanks and drippers. You know, you're getting the best of both worlds because you've got your squonk bottle at the bottom which feeds up, so you're getting the dripper flavour and the satisfaction, but with the convenience of a tank attached to the bottom, if you will. Squonking, you know.
It's a way forward, I'm afraid. It's an old thing. It's not new.
No.
I don't think it's looked at. I think the fads took over first, didn't they?
And I think also, once upon a time, squonking was for people with a lot of dosh, because there wasn't any sort of like budget squonkers about. Whereas at the moment, if you look, P, there's a glut of squonkers. And can I just add a caveat to that? A lot of these squonkers that are coming out now, guys, if they're mechanical squonkers, you've got to know your Ohm's law on battery safety. It's not just a normal squonker. It's not regulated. So be careful, guys, if you get one of these. If it's a mechanical squonker, treat it like a mech mod. Know your Ohm's law, know your battery safety, yeah? However, if it's a regulated squonker, happy days, like, you know. But I think what it was, P, when it first come out, only the rich could afford these squonkers because they were like an elitist device, if you will, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, they were expensive, and not everybody can afford to pay £100 for anything. Pete, I'm dying to get the Stentorian Ram Squonk mod, and it's cool, light blue colour, drooling over it. Julie, listen, Julie, how's the weather like in Massachusetts, my love?
I wish I was going back to Massachusetts.
Should have brought the guitar.
Yeah. Oh, there's Kenny Everett done on a sketch show years ago. He's taken the mickey out of the Bee Gees and he changed the words to I'm going back to have massive chew sets.
Massachusetts.
The big tip on the Bee Gees.
They're from here, guys. The Bee Gees were Manx. They're good old Manxies.
What's that? Bam Bam, yeah, my older squonkers were pricey, especially the regulated ones. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying, Bam Bam. When they first come out, it was a bit of unless you had a bit of spare dough, bit of cash in your bank account, you couldn't do squonking. But now it's becoming, I'm happy to say, for the masses. But just be careful, as I say, guys. If you get one of these cheap ones and it's a mechanical squonker, know your Ohm's law, know your battery safety. That's all I'm going to say to you guys, like, you know.
They get it wrong, and the biggest tip, if you haven't got your finger on the button and it's hissing, don't listen to it. Throw it out the door, okay? It's about to go. Really chilly, windy today. Oh my goodness! Well, it's been hailstone in here today, Julie. It's been and it's freezing. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's very cold. As a squonk virgin, what regulated squonker would you recommend? Well, there's a few about, Tony, but it's rather Tony's been doing more reviews on them than I have to go, or better quality ones. What would you suggest, Tony? A good affordable starting squonker is what we're after.
Okay, just to say hello to Jack Brown there, by the way. All right, Jack. Right, okay. Now, these is an original sort of, how can we put the common man's regulated squonker, semi-regulated. This is the Dripbox 60. And it has an 18650 battery, but it's semi-regulated, like, in the fact that there's no dials on the front or anything like that. Now, that's quite affordable. That's by Kangatech. Now, I've recently acquired this fella there. The Wraith by Council of Vapors. Now this is a beauty of a squonker, and it's not too pricey, and this is regulated. As you can see, it's got a screen on it, you've got all your power settings and what have you. That's by the Council of Vapors. Now that's reasonably priced as well. That is a real belt to that one. Now the surprise one, and people are going to go, oh no, but take no notice to this is much maligned and it shouldn't be. And this is the Kangatech once again. Dripbox 160. Now the advantage that has over the Wraith, shall we say, is the Wraith is only a single battery. Although it's fantastic, it's only single battery. However, this guy is dual 18650, so you're getting a lifespan out of it, you know. Now it comes with a squonker on top, which isn't that good, but you can always change that out. So I've got the Tsunami on there with the squonk pin, and it works brilliant. So I've done reviews on these guys. If you want to check them out, they're all on my channel, the reviews for these squonkers, and they're reasonably priced, especially this fella with the dual batteries, because usually a dual battery one is going to cost you an arm and a leg. But this is much maligned, but I think it shouldn't be, you know. I've had this now for a few months and it's not let me down, you know.
There's a good, Bam Bam's got it.
Go ahead.
The Dripbox 160 is reasonable, yeah. And he's heard good things about the Wraith as well, so,
yeah.
And Andy, good things about it.
Yeah, well, Bam Bam, check out the reviews on my channel there, as you say, and you will have seen them anyhow. I've reviewed all three of them I've just showed you guys, and I think it is the future. Now, guys, unfortunately, as Pete would say, the witching hour is upon us, and this channel is only an hour broadcast the vape debate. So what we're going to do, shortly we're going to say our goodbyes, but what I'd just like to say to people in chat, if you haven't already subscribe to Vaping at Pete's Place, for the simple reason this is a collab and it's broadcast on my channel this week, Pete's next week, and so on and so forth. So please get over there and subscribe to Vaping at Pete's Place, yeah? And you won't miss an episode. And can I just say, Pete, hasn't chat been fantastic tonight?
I've loved it tonight. Listen, thanks guys for coming along. It's been fantastic. As usual, to be honest with you, because you keep us going. Live has been a blessing to both myself, Tony, and many other reviewers.
Yeah.
Because it's unprepared, uncut, it's raw material, and we can cock up like everybody else. But it's a fantastic deal. Listen, just thanks.
So, as I say, chat, listen, they're all putting nice comments in there. Chat, thank you, you're being fantastic, and I look forward to seeing you next week as well. Like, but it's that time of night where I'm left for me to say is it's good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.